Over the last few years, CSU has invested millions of dollars into construction on campus, not only to update the look and feel of the campus, but to also update the sustainability of those buildings. With CSU being a land-grant university, they have made it a priority over the last few years and in the future to have all new construction on campus be LEED Gold certified or higher. Having sustainability be a major focus in new construction, CSU ranks 7th in sustainability out of 312 different institutions nationwide in 2020. That puts CSU in the top 10 sustainable institutions for the past 3 years and top 11 for the past 7 years. One of the buildings that is part of CSU's goal at building LEED Gold or higher is the addition of the Anatomy Building, a nearly 40,000 square foot addition costing $21 million, which was constructed from August of 2017 to December of 2018. The Anatomy Building received its official LEED Gold certification this year, being one of 5 science buildings on campus to be constructed between 2016 and 2018 with sustainability and LEED certifications in mind.
As you can see in front of you, there's the LEED scorecard for the zoology building provided by Group 14 Engineering. This scorecard has 7 sections and has a total of 110 points. The number of points out of the 110 will give you the LEED rating of the building at the end of the project. The first section we'll go over is sustainable sites. 70% of the possible points here were scored. They emphasized access and alternate transportation for this building, which helped it score very high. The next section is water efficiency. They did not score many points here and only got 4 in the reduced water use. But however, this is a pretty large factor considering today's droughts. The third section is energy and atmosphere. They scored 49% of the possible points here and pride themselves in their energy performance within the equipment within the building. Materials scored 0%, which is surprising for it being such a sustainable building. The next section we'll go into is indoor quality. Indoor quality is huge, especially when it comes to building the right environment for a productive workplace. This is partly due to the windows that are all facing east in the HVAC system. Lastly, they scored 100% in innovation and 50% in regional. Overall, the building is quite sustainable and earned a gold rating overall.
The Anatomy Zoology Building will consist of several cadaver labs known as gross anatomy labs. While the end use of the building is highly educational, the labs themselves pose a significant risk due to exposure to formaldehyde and formalin. Because of this, the design team needed to come up with HVAC systems that had proper ventilation. CSU looked towards the other universities for ideas on which HVAC systems worked the best. The 2 universities they ended up considering were the University of Colorado Denver and the University of California at San Francisco. University of Colorado used an HVAC system that utilized downdraft tables. These tables are actually connected to the exhaust system, which is controlled by VAV boxes. VAV boxes are variable air volume boxes, which are exactly that, boxes that allow you to vary the amount of air volume that flows through a system. These VAV boxes are automatically enabled when the table lid opens and activates our proximity sensor, which tells the system that ventilation is needed. This method was highly effective. However, the vertical chases of duct connected to the humidor shown in this photo were thought to obstruct views, which could potentially hinder the learning experience. Furthermore, the Anatomy Zoology Building mimics UC San Francisco in that each zone of the building has its own air handling unit. This is to ensure that the building meets the requisite number of air changes per hour. Again, this is to minimize the risk posed by the constant exposure to formaldehyde and formalin and to comply with OSHA regulations. However, in addition to meeting OSHA standards, this HVAC system is also energy efficient. The system utilizes indirect evaporative cooling, which reduces energy in the hotter months in Colorado and minimizes the amount of time the air handler needs to operate. This results in a longer lifespan for the unit, ultimately reducing costs. HVAC is just one factor that contributed to the sustainability of this building, but it's a significant factor that shouldn't be overlooked as this system was a major reason that the building is rated LEED Gold.